Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. This is Rose with Keston Rose, and today is, I'm thinking, my very first ever plan with me. If it's not my very first plan with me, then it is the first one that I have done in at least 4 or 5 years. So I'm moving into a new journal. I received this one 2 years ago, I think, and I fell in love with it, and I'm finally moving out of my other journal into this one. So let's go ahead and pop this baby out, and let's take a gander. So it has star and moon and like a celestial butterfly. It is a dot grid. It does have the pocket at the back, which I hardly ever use. And it came with these awesome stickers. Just gorgeous. So I will not be using the stickers for the July. This is, you know what? Oh my gosh. I made a video about 3 months ago saying it was my very first linen. No, this is my very first linen. Uh-oh, something fell. I have to look to see what that was. So this is my very first linen, and this is going to be my July. So I am going to use this. And I have had this one for, I know for sure, since 2023. And I've used it. So let's see here. We are in July, and the summer. Okay, so for July, the theme is going to be cottagecore. So this is actually more autumnal. So will I be able to use anything? I might be able to use the Hello Summer. This is more island. This is more island. So, okay. Maybe just the Hello Summer I'll be able to use out of this. And then I also have this washi tape. So I have this that I will be using for the month of July. I have these stickers, and you all may, or those of you who've been here before, you'll recognize these stickers. I have this set of washi tape, and then I also have, this is one of my reels. So I'm not sure what in here will meet the cottage core, but I'm going to find it. Well, you know what? I think some of this would. Some of this would. So we're going to see. And then, of course, I have, this is a Black Girl Magic. Oh, wrong side. And see if I can find anything that's cottage core in here. Maybe garden party, maybe. I'm sure I can find a few things. And then the colors that I'm going to use are going to be the from the Rytec. The colors are going to be green and brown. So green and brown. And I have inks. This one is inked up with Coffee Shop. And this one is inked up with, I think, Sherwood Green. So I'm just going to put you on pause. Get the notebook back over here so that we can, and it's 160 GSM notebook, okay? All right, here we go. So it came with this pin loop, and for the longest time, I didn't know that it was something that you could just add on. I thought something was wrong, but let's see. I like a higher. All right, there we go. All right, so I'm gonna leave that there. I'm going to start here. And so I know I need 5 weeks because the month actually starts on the month starts on a Tuesday. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to use, let's see, which brown. The only complaint I had about this pack was when I received it, this here, it came without the nib. So when I reached out to them and I was just like, hey, you know, what are we going to do about this? Can I get a nib? They wanted to replace the whole thing. I didn't want the whole thing replaced. I just wanted this one replaced. And I was like, you know what? Never mind. I don't have time for this. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, this is the one. So I'm going to use this for the across. And then I'm going to use, the green. I'm going to use the green for the down. Let's see which green. I think it's this one that has the thick as well. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's get started. So also I have to figure out how many, let's see, because it starts on a Tuesday. Okay, so it starts on a Tuesday, and I have to figure out how many, because I want to handwrite the actual days of the week. So I'm probably going to need 2. Maybe I should use this as a test page to figure out how many. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1 week, 2 week, 3 week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so that's 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, 4 week, 5 week. Okay. So I can actually leave, because I have more space at the bottom. I can do every 5 lines. So I'm going to skip. All right, so I'm going to leave 3 lines up here. Okay. And, oops, sorry. And I'm not going to be pressed about the straightness of the lines. All right. You know, and I said I was going to leave more space at the top, and I still didn't. Okay. Okay. So for this one over here, see. Because my Wednesdays normally hit the spine. So let's see. Let's come back over here, see if we can figure it. So I'm thinking 9. Okay, so Tuesday. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Okay, so Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. All right, 9's too many. So probably 7 then. Okay, 7 will work. We'll just work it back. You know what? What am I doing? I need to draw the rest of... I'll figure it out. Give me a moment. Let me just get the rest of these marked. So for those of you who are not in the South, we are under what's called a heat dome right now, which means you can be in your home and you still run the risk of having some kind of UV issue going on. Myself, I was just driving my car and I ended up at my wrist with a suntan after being out in the sun for about 10 minutes, I think it was, driving. And that was not fun. That was actually kind of scary. Okay. So I also know that this July ends on a Thursday. So let's give a little bit right there. So yeah, that was not fun for me. That was absolutely not fun. So gotta order some sunblock. And because I'm in the South, gotta have my Cheerwine, not sponsored. Okay, so 9 is too many. So I'm gonna do, you know what, hold on. How many dots per page? So 27. So 27, yeah, so that would be 3. So Wednesday would definitely, okay, I got it now. Got to start it Wednesday. So we got to make, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's Saturday. Friday. Thursday. Okay. Wednesday. I normally make my Wednesdays a little bit larger because that's when I do the most during the week, but it is what it is. And I'm just going to cover that up. All right. All right, so Wednesday. All right, Sunday. And Sundays I do a lot of stuff too. So this is actually going to work out. For those of you who has to have everything even, I am really sorry if this video triggers you, but that's how it's going to stay. All right. So let's go ahead and get my days written. Okay, so let's see. Okay. So that is my green, and then my brown. My brownie for my brownie. Okay. Now this one, I don't know if you all can really tell, but it got torn up. So we're gonna try to make it do what it do. Yeah. I don't like the way this one has such a hard time writing, but it does make a beautiful, like, chocolate reddish brown. Okay, so I think this one has dots to it. So if it, yeah, but not enough. Darn it. Any other have dots that I might be able to use? Well, 6. I need 31. Don't have 31 in this one. Let me see if any of my others have 31. Pages already come out of this one. Oh, what's this here? No. All right. Well, I'm gonna have to do what I normally do, which is use a highlighter. Okay. So I need. Do I have a green highlighter in here? Or am I gonna have to run and grab? Nope, I do. I have a green. Leave that one out. And I need background. All right. Okay. So, of course, just alternating. I am hoping to be able to get... So, normally when it's hot outside, I don't go outside. I don't care what's going on, except for when it's time for the Comic-Con. For the Comic-Con, I will risk heat exhaustion. Because to be perfectly honest with you, I have met every person that I have wanted to meet. Well, almost every person that I've wanted to meet. I didn't even know that we had a Comic-Con here, to be perfectly honest with you, until my baby brother one year showed me his pictures. I'm like, oh my gosh, where'd you meet Jason Voorhees? He was like, oh yeah, there was a con here, blah, blah, blah. Like, and you didn't tell me. I didn't know that was your thing. If it is to meet Jason Voorhees, yes. And just for y'all who don't know, when you are traveling along the border to between North Carolina and South Carolina, right before you hit the North Carolina border that's closest to the Piedmonts, there is a Camp Crystal Lake over there. I saw it with my own eyes. I drove past it quick like and in a hurry. Did not stop, but it's there. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. But I'm not about to die tonight. But I thought that was the coolest thing. I love these pens. I love these pens. Okay, so I know a lot of people use the Sakura, and oh, I have another one. They have like the Sakura, and it's the something else. Oh, the Jelly Roll. The Jelly Roll are okay. Sometimes it takes more than one swipe. With these, it only takes one. And I absolutely love these. And you get them in a 10-pack. And I think the 10-pack was only like $12. And they're not even a name that I recognize. But I said, you know what? It's $12. I waste $12 at Starbucks. You know, half the time the food's not even all that great. No shade to Starbucks, though. And so I just said, you know what? Let me just try it out. These are the best pens. But anyway, I will brave the heat for the Comic-Con. I'm going to be sweaty, slightly funky, but I'll do it. I'll go out for it. This year, we have only one person, Katie Sackhoff, that I would consider, but I'm not that big of a fan of hers. I have to see who the anime people are to see if I'm going to go out for it. But yeah, I just... we'll have to see. I got to meet Michael Rooker, Michael Biehn. I got to see Sean Astin. I didn't stand in that line. That line was ridiculously long. Like, it was ridiculously long. I can't even begin to describe just how crazy it was. I got to meet the voice cast of the Batman the Animated Series. And I've got video, I've got everything. And that is just what sealed it for me. But I don't think this year I'm going to go. I'm not going to go. Okay, so now we've got that done. And so let's go ahead. Let me grab my summertime. And the thing is, I don't even use these sheets like that have the little boxes and stuff. I don't use them. Not really. Okay, so I'll just put Hello Summer down here. Okay, so got Hello Summer there. Let's see. Should I don't know. You know what? The other YouTubers make it seem like so easy to just know what's what and what to go where. But I'm not sure. You know what? Let's put down some strawberries in baskets. Okay, that one. But there's the one that looks like the roadside stand that I like. This one. I like this one. Okay, so got that. And then, let's see. From this. Ooh! Sorry. All right, so from this. I like this. I like these three. So, all right, so let's go with these for right now. Okay. So, let's see. Yeah. All right, so we're going to put down. Okay. So we're going to put this down here. And had I thought about it sooner, I actually probably would have gone with more like a horror camp theme. But for the month of August, I'm doing an anime comic theme in honor of our Comic-Con that will be here. So maybe not have both of those back to back, but it is all right. But for October, oh yes sir, I will be having, let's see, since this one's rounded, maybe I should put it, nope, because it doesn't cover the way I want it to. This doesn't cover either. Ooh. Let's see. Where's the Provence? Hold on. Okay. These are hard to come off, my God. And you can't get them off without tearing them up. Okay. All right. So I'm going to stick you right down there. And I'm just cut off what I don't need. Okay. So then I'll put you right up there. Strawberries. And the craziest thing, strawberries actually don't scream summer to me. Blackberries do. Like, when I think of blackberries, I think of summer. Because that's one of the berries here that is really hard to get good quality of if it's not summer. Okay, so this is just the start. How did I get that on there already? There we go. I need something up there. I need something. I wonder. Yeah. I can just take one of these little pieces writing and stick them up there. Take you on you. Set you off to the side for right now. So I'm so close to finishing out my other one, and I have another purple one, another purple journal that I love that I'm writing in. Okay, so I am going to fill in something here, but for right now I'm going to just move on. I'll come back to it. So with the whole cottage core, it's something that I feel that you can always build on. It doesn't, and that is what happens. Like, I'll go ahead and pre-decorate, and then something else will come to me. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I really need this in here. And then I'll come back and I'll add it. And that's what I found when I did with my my June. For my June, I was just like, oh, you know, I'm just going to have like an enchanted look to it. And sure enough, I came back later. All right, so I'm going to save the coffee ones because I was going to do like the coffee theme in in November, but I'm going to save it for September. But I came back and I was just like, okay, I need something else added to these days. All right, here we go. This is what I was talking about. All right, these are pre-cut, but let's see. Okay, so we've got green and we've got brown. Okay. Ooh. Okay. So the green, I think I want this. I think this will go well. This will go well. And this will go well. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. So I normally try to decorate at least 20 pages at a time. And I won't keep you all here for the whole 20 pages because I know you got other stuff to do. But I decorate 20 pages at a time because sometimes I have a lot going on or a lot on my mind. And if I only decorate by week, by the week, that's not going to cut it. Because I can easily, as you hear, yammer on in writing for a long, long time. Especially when for journaling, it's a way to get, one, my thoughts out, another, to get my feelings out. Because sometimes something will happen and I will just be so angry about it. I'll be so angry. And then I'll write it out. And when I go back and read it later, it's like, okay, yeah, that was pretty upsetting, but, you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have said that. You should have stayed calmer. Or, this person said this. You could have come back with this comeback. All right, well, next time if that happens. You know how some people talk about how they're in the shower and they think this is me in my journal. Because stuff happens and you want to say something and in the moment you don't. And then you're just like, oh, I could have such a good comeback if I only thought about that. But you know what? In my journal, I write it out. And sometimes I've said some pretty heinous things to people that really should have just gone into a journal. But it didn't. It came right on out. And then when somebody called me out for it, I'm like, well, you hadn't said X, Y, Z, I wouldn't have felt the need to say, element of P. That's just how it goes. And just like, but that's just rude. It was rude what you said too. So by journaling, I can keep myself from being galactically rude to people. Doesn't always work 100%. Okay, so if you're looking at just like, gosh, you're not really decorating each page. Okay, so here's the thing. I use these as decoration, but my main decoration comes from my inks. and I'll show you what I mean. So when I am journaling, my journal has my inks to it. My inks are the final decoration on something. So that's what I do. Sometimes these pages will be clogged, and later on I'll probably do a quick little brief flip through of July. But yeah, that's my inks are my decoration. And something that I did for my June book, not my June, what I did in my purple book that I'm leaving now is I absolutely did not change colors. I have so many purples that I said, oh, you know what? Let me use these up. Let me see what I can do. And sure enough, I used every 2 months, I switched out to a new purple. And that let me, use my purples, see which ones I liked. And I used them all in my TWSBI Eco, my purple TWSBI Eco. And I loved it. I got to see what the colors look like. I got to use them for a while. I got to see which ones that I just absolutely adore versus which ones I was just like, they're all right. I don't really need to keep on to this one. I'm going to cut these tabs in a minute. So that helped me out a great deal, just seeing which colors I liked, which ones I didn't like, which ones I felt maybe I don't need to hang on to. And I have to say, I have a lot of Iroshizuku purple inks. The Yamabudo is like the most popular one that I've seen, especially on Reddit. Everybody seems to rave about that one. I have it. And I love purples, and I love purples of all shades, but that one, I mean, it's cool. Don't get me wrong. It's cool, but I don't get the hype over it. I don't get the hype over it because while it is a nice purple, it's a good everyday purple that's not like really stark or anything that would just be a shock to anyone. Is not the end all to be all that sometimes people hype it up to be. And I'm just like, it's all right. It's all right. So I've used that one. I have Momiji. And Momiji is, that one's pretty cool. That one's pretty cool. It's not, again, something that I would just hype to other people like, oh, you gotta have this one. Nah, again, it's a nice one to have in your arsenal if you want to try out stuff, but it's not one of those I'm just like, oh my gosh, you just gotta have it. Your life is not complete unless you have it. It's not that, no. Okay. Well, I think this one would be a cool one to have. Let's put her in here. Yep. Okay, so put her over here as well. All right, so like I said, I'm not going to hold you all so that you see the entire 20 pages, but just going to go back over it. This is the start of it. So this is the start. And like I said, my pens, my inks will be the absolute decoration, but That's where we go. I'm about to I'm gonna turn off the camera and finish up and neaten up. And that's gonna be it. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your June and an awesome and cool July. Take care, everyone.